What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. We are back with another Don Bradman Cricket 17 video. Today doing something we have not done before, and that is playing a women's match. Now this is something obviously that has been introduced not only in Don Bradman but in FIFA this year. Women's in the game, women in the game. And personally I think it is good. It reaches out to a whole new audience. It allows, you know, that different... I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but it just reaches out to a bigger, broader audience, allows the females to possibly come in, play as some of their favourite players. So it is a very, very cool feature. So we have gone and completely missed that one here. Before you do go and get any further in this video, guys, make sure you do hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. Let's aim again for 100 likes. You guys have been amazing with your support so far for Don Bradman Cricket since it has come out. So let's try and keep that up. That is a nice shot through the covers there, and I probably should be able to go and come back. I was going to say 4-3 if we time that one well. We're going to put in the dive just for the sakes. But yeah, the likes have been incredible. If you are new, please do hit that subscribe button. Just a little sneak peek at what is going to be coming tomorrow. I do have probably the first of a new series that I am going to be starting off on the channel. I've got a lot that I want to do. A lot of it is career mode based, but I just think with the teams that are there at the moment, or the lack of teams, I should say, that are in the academy, lack of licensed teams, it does make it a little bit difficult to go and just, I guess, get it all going. Like, I want it to be as realistic as possible. I want all the right player names. I want all the right kits, all the right competitions, all the right logos, just basically everything. So, hopefully we can go and get that going in the next couple of days. I do have, as I said, a series that I am going to look to start up, which I think does have all the right logos. Fingers crossed. We will have to go and wait and see. But we've got off to a pretty good start here. We have been struggling a little bit as of late when it has come to batting. But we're doing a good job here. 11 off 4 so far. And again, that's another one there that's missed. Big appeal by the Australians, but I don't think it's out, and I don't think they are going to go and appeal that. And another thing a lot of people have been asking for is career mode. That is coming as well. Again, same thing. I just want to have basically everything up to date, everything sorted, and everything ready to go before we go and get into that too much. So that, as I said, shouldn't be too far away. Hopefully we can get that started sometime the middle of next week. Hopefully before Christmas. Would be nice if we could get that done. But at the end of the day, if it can't be done, not the end of the world. I hope you guys are liking the 5-5 content. If there is anything else that you would like to see, let me know down below in the comments, and I can possibly look at going and doing that for you. But I think at the moment 5-5 is really cool. Playing through with all different teams. Obviously we played with New Zealand and Australia. I think we played Australia and South Africa. Today we're playing the women's game. We played with some Big Bash teams yesterday. So we are really sharing it around. It's not all the same stuff time and time again. So but as I said, there is a lot that I do have planned, a lot of stuff that I am looking to do. Actually, a really cool series that someone actually did speak to me about. They're just like, Cliffy, have you ever thought about doing this? And on other games, yes, I had, but on Don Bradman, I hadn't really ever thought about it. So there will be a little bit of a thought process going into that, and I've actually just pressed the wrong button. That there was supposed to be an aggressive shot up over the top, but instead we have gone for the block. But yeah, it just is going to take a little bit of sorting out, a little bit of thinking about how it can work, how we can start it off, and just some different stipulations as well. So, but if it does come to fruition, I think it is going to be a really, really successful series, and it's something that you guys are going to like as well. So, but apart from that, we're just going to go through some more gameplay. As I said, we've started off really well. We have been batting quite poorly as of late. Just haven't really been able to score runs. I have gone and actually put the batting difficulty down slightly. I was playing on medium. I've kept the bowling as it is because I think it is realistic, but the batting, for some reason or another, I just can't get it going. Playing it easy at the moment just so I can go and get my timing, shot selection and stuff as well. It is quite different from the other game, and that's why we are seeing a lot better batting here today, because it is slightly easier. And if it does continue like this, if I do continue to get these big scores, I will look at going and putting it up. But games that I have been playing off camera, I've just been getting absolutely slaughtered. Like I lost, I think, I did a game as the Strikers against the Heat, and I just got mauled. Like I think I only made about 20 odd batting first, you know, in a 5-over game, and I lost about 6 or 7 wickets, which is really, really bad in such a short space of time. And then another game, I'm just trying to think, Derbyshire-Durham, I played that as well. That one there, I think I actually took down I think it went down almost to the last ball, but we just couldn't quite get there in the end. I think we lost by about 2 or 3, chasing about 48-50. So I mean, that's not bad. And at the moment, you know, in 5-5, it's pretty similar to what the AI do. They go at roughly around this rate here. They go, you know, at about 10 runs and over, going and looking at a 5-5 game. Well, to date so far, I should say, you're kind of looking at around 45-50 as a pass score, about 9-10 runs and over. And as I said, that is what we are going at this rate, just a little bit more. Beaumont's been really good, 20 off 10. And I'm looking forward to using, I think it's Knight is the, ooh, that could be a chance of LBW, it is! Whoo, I might just give that a cheeky review, actually. Actually, no. With the confidence in that, no, we're definitely not going to challenge. That was appalling. In swinging ball, Jones just did not look good. Amy Jones didn't look good whatsoever. Sarah Taylor's the player I was thinking of. Wicketkeeper batsman. I think once upon a time was one of the best women's batsmen going around in the world. So hopefully she can translate that form into this game as well. Because we, as I said, we've started off pretty well. We have lost an early wicket, but we have started pretty well, considering how we have been batting lately. So hopefully we can go and keep that up. Also, I think the fielding restrictions are done now, but they have kept with a pretty attacking field, have the Australians. And that's something that I've done as well. Whenever I have played, it's a nice shot, actually. I'm not too sure who that's by. Beaumont again, I believe. She is just on absolute fire on, well, to date so far. I was going to say on date, but to date. And we do now have the spinner coming in, Osborne. But yeah, as I was saying, we have been struggling a little bit, and so it is nice to actually get some runs on the board and just to look at work it around. But back to the fielding, that's what I was talking about before I went. I can't even speak today. Before I went and got distracted. There we go. But yeah, quite often you see in these 5-5 games that the field doesn't really change too much. The field doesn't go back. It stays as it is. Stays. That's almost a. Oh God, I've done it again. I'm honestly so used to playing those little guided shots in Don Bradman 14, just down to third man. You guys who have seen my batting career mode video, you will know that that is like my bread and butter. I go there and through the covers more often than not. So to really, like, that shot does not seem to be active in this game. It doesn't matter how full or how short it was in DBC 14. You could just play that shot regardless, time in and time out. So I'm going to have to look probably for a new shot to try and go to. Oh God, get back. That was a great bit of fielding. I'm not sure who that is in close there, but that's a great bit of fielding. H. Furling at third slip just absolutely killed it. And we have, this has been a good over. Since the spin has come on, we have struggled. And as you can see, there it is again. That foot movement is poor because it's a full ball, it's a Yorker, and we're trying to play it off the back foot, which is never going to work. So it's only gone for 2 in this over to date so far. And it's only going to go for 2. The shot was good, but the ball just wasn't quite there to reverse sweep, and the timing was quite late as well. We're going to finish off with Sarah Coit. We've got 33 on the board at the moment. 1 over left to go. We'll be looking for Beaumont really to go and farm the strike here. Sarah Taylor, I talked her up in the pre-game, said how good she was. You know, obviously one of the premier women's batsmen once upon a time, but she just hasn't done it for us here today. And since they have gone and slowed the pace down, the Australians, it has been very difficult to get the ball away. Very difficult to get the ball away. We have struggled big time. That one there, oh, great catch. So things are starting to go downhill now for the English. Tasman Beaumont, great knock, 25 off 15. Great knock, and just what we were needed. So we still only have, I think, yeah, 33 on the board. So kind of, we need to get a bit of a move on, and we need to get probably 7 off these last 4 balls. If we are going to get in with a fairly decent, just a decent score. I mean, as I said, we're looking for somewhere around, oh, direct hit. Oh, I was going to say direct hit and she was gone. Somewhere around that 45 to 50 mark has been par, or it's been horses for courses, you would say, in a 5 over game. It's kind of similar, you know, when you look at T20s and even one-day internationals, you know, a par score in a one-day international, you know, you're always looking at 250. Unless the pitch is an absolute road, then you put it up. If the pitch is an absolute crapper, then you go and put it down. But, you know, majority of the time, that 250, 5 runs and over, is fairly par. And same in T20. I think in T20, again, regardless of the pitch, unless the pitch is an absolute road, unless the pitch is an absolute piece of shit, you know, you're basically looking at around somewhere 150, 160, I would say, par. 7.5, 8 and over, which is probably the score that you see majority of the time. And then teams obviously do predetermine when they go out and they see a pitch. They're like, wow, this pitch here is a such and such pitch. This pitch here is not such a pitch. You see a pitch, you go out and teams do that. And I know for a fact, obviously I've just played social cricket in my life. But, you go out and you see the pitch and you see how it plays if you're batting first, in the first 5 overs or so, because we only did play 40 overs. You see how it's playing in the first 5 overs and you're like, right, we're going to look to try and target this. In our grades, we play on pretty crappy pitches. Normally, if you're looking anywhere around 40 overs, if you're looking anywhere around 150, if you've got decent bowlers, then you are going to be in with a fairly good shout. But, same thing. We played on some pitches that were absolutely crap, and if we could manage to somehow get towards 100, then we would be fairly happy with that with the bowlers that we did have. And same thing, I remember we played on a road. I'm trying to think. I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago. It was like the last game of the season, and we scored like a huge score. Like I think we almost scored 340 overs. I think I batted about number 8 that day and came in, and I think I hit 16 off 4. Like the last 4 balls of the game, I hit for 4 fours, like just basically down the ground. The pitch was so true, and same thing. I think we got them. We scored, I think, as I said, around 300. I think they got around 250, so it was a very good batting pitch. They scored 550 runs in, like, ooh, that's close for an LBW shout. I think it is going down leg, though. But as I was saying, to score 550 runs combined in about 75 overs, 80 overs, that is a very good knock. It is a very good pitch that we did play on. So, speaking of good pitches, this one here seems to be playing pretty well and pretty true. But just like that, we chuck in a wide one, and it has gone up over the infield and is going to go for the Australians' first 4 of the innings. So just when I thought things were starting to look not too bad for us, we have now gone. We've conceded 5 off the first 4. So we are going to look to go and try and peg this back. Remember, they do still need 9 runs and over. So they are chasing 45, which we do have in our favour. And, I was going to say almost some overthrows, but you saw how spin and medium pace did slow down slowed us down, I should say, on this pitch. So hopefully we can do the same. Get through these first 2 power play overs, you would say, and then bring in some spin. Because Australia they've hit 10 off this first one, so they are keeping up with that required run rate at the moment. They are just above it. 39 needed off the last 4. But we do now have the medium pace in. And as I said, this is where the game did turn for us, was that medium pace. So hopefully that's the case. And it is going to be the case, because there's the first wicket down. So the first ball by Shrub Shoal, and it's caught by Siva? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure on the English women's names. Obviously, I recognise a few. Sarah Taylor being the main one. But the Australians, I believe, are all completely up to date. I think Elise Perry actually bats I think she bats number 4 for them, not number 3. So that's a little bit different, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It could be worse. She could be batting down at like number 10. I still remember that first game that we played, that New Zealand versus Australia game, the first one. And that one there was just all over the place, just like the Australians here. Mooney is a left-hander. She has basically finished that shot, ended up as a right-hander, and had her leg peg knocked out of the ground. Perry and Healy in now. And I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but Alyssa Healy, in the Women's Big Bash League, she took a very, very good stumping against the Stars. No, yes, it was against the Stars. Playing for the Sixers, took a very, very good stumping. Was a leg side wide, but very, very sharp work from Alyssa to go and pick that one up there. So this has been a great over so far, since we've gone and taken the pace off the ball. Just as I say that, though, Healy is going to go and hit herself her first 4. And while I am talking about this, I did talk about career modes earlier on and having a lot to do. I think it is going to be really cool to do a females career mode as well, because obviously it's something that we've never had before. And again, it just adds to that new viewer dimension. It brings in that new, I'm trying to think of the word, that new audience, I guess you would say. Like, there's probably a lot of female cricket fans out there. I know for a fact there probably are. But, a lot of them probably get sick of watching the guys play all the time. Whereas in this here, it gives the opportunity to play as a female. So that is quite cool. And hopefully it will bring in not only a lot of people playing the game, a lot of females playing the game, but watching the game as well. And women's cricket, I must say, like, even here in New Zealand, has just grown in leaps and bounds in recent times. It has grown big time. Like, you know, you look back and think, you know, maybe 5, 10 years ago, I knew absolutely nothing about women's cricket. Absolutely nothing. Didn't follow it. Didn't watch it. Didn't even really know it existed, to be honest. I knew that there was domestic comp, but again, didn't really think anything of it. But to be honest, it is very, very good. I went and watched a T20 International at Hagley Oval, free entry, between the New Zealand woman and the Sri Lankan woman. New Zealand absolutely cleaned up in this game. Like, New Zealand woman, I don't know what it is, but it seems to be like New Zealand, Australia, and probably England. That catch has gone down. That's a hard chance, though. But they seem to be like the big three when it comes to women's cricket. So New Zealand absolutely walked over Sri Lanka. And I think Australia played Sri Lanka not too long ago in some women's cricket, and again did the same thing, just absolutely walked over them. But for free entry, it was very, very entertaining. Like, it's still international cricket. The quality was still very high. And it's the same with the Women's Big Bash. Like, I will be quite happy to sit down on the couch, you know, on a Saturday or a Sunday, even a Monday afternoon, and just watch Women's Big Bash, because the quality is still good, and it is getting much better than it was, again, you say 5 or 10 years ago, when not really too many people knew too much about it. So we need to try and start defending a little bit here, because that over's gone for 13. And all of a sudden, Australia are really back into this game. Medium pace did it last over, didn't do it this one. Alyssa Healy absolutely killing it out there. And 2 for 33 off 3 overs. So again, above the required run rate. So we are going to have to go. We are going to have to slow down, get some dot balls, possibly get some wickets in here as well. Because these two, sorry, I should say, are a very big pair for the Australians. So as you can see, just 13 off 10 needed. Healy has been on fire. She has just been smashing it all around the ground. We need some dot balls. We need some wickets to really peg us back into this game. And that's what we've done here. We've just gone for 1 off the first 2 deliveries. We need a tight over here from Gunn. And then we can go and finish up later on. A play and a miss there from Healy. Her strike rate goes down to 200. 200 in a woman's game. You know, it is quite unbelievable to have it there. Normally it is nowhere near that high. And this ground, it does seem quite big as well, because that's the same thing. And I don't want to sound, you know, I don't want to sound like a prick here or anything. But normally the women's boundaries are moved in a little bit compared to the male's boundaries. Again, just due to the strength and the size thing. But women's cricket is a lot more about skill. You know, you go into, for example, a men's game, even socially. You know, you can really get away with being a big guy who's big, strong, and burly, and, you know, basically can just club a ball, can hit a long ball. Whereas in the women's game, you have to be a bit more tactical. You have to be a bit more precise, have better timing, and, you know, just stuff like that. And that doesn't just come down to batting as well. That comes down to bowling too, because, you know, there's a lot of women that bowl, you know, like 90, 100, 110 Ks, and that is pretty standard. So you have to have your change-up deliveries, you have to have your slower balls, and, you know, again, just your different bowling tactics. So it is, I would say, compared to the men's game, a lot more tactical, and a lot more thinking would go into it, rather than just go out, you know, someone, you know, I don't want to stereotypicalize, is that a word? I don't know. I don't want to stereotype, you know, certain players, like obviously Chris Gale, Brendan McCullum. They're not just sloggers, you know, they are very good cricket players and very good batsmen, but, you know, they're guys that can just go out and just absolutely club a ball. They can hit the ball a long, long way. I mean, think David Warner when he first started off in the international scene. You know, no one had really heard of him. Came in and played a T20 and basically just clubbed the ball all over the place. Yeah, so again, a bit of skill, a bit more technicality going into it here. And Elise Perry, she's just blocked it out. We have only gone for 2 off these last 4 balls in this over. So we just need to make sure now, we just need to make sure now that we don't go for a boundary, because then that is going to mean that they only need 5 off the last 2, which means a boundary would tie the game and send us to potentially our first super over of Don Bradman Cricket 17. Let's hope that's not the case. Get there, please. Catch it. Oh, what are you doing? You've honestly let the ball just slip through your hands. It's gone through the player. And with that, the scores are tied on 48. So just like that, I don't know what happens now. Do we go into a super over? Or is the game... If we go into a super over. The game, I believe, is tied. And as we can see down the bottom corner, our very first super over that we have played in this version of Don Bradman cricket. I don't know. I honestly don't think that they had a super over in Donny B14. But we've got it here today. We are playing a super over. And hopefully we can try and contain it quite well. Because we know how we've been batting. We haven't been batting brilliantly. So we really are going to have to try and keep this down. Potentially just try and pick up some wickets and just block things out. Because otherwise we could be in for a bit of a hard time. I think if they get anywhere above 10, that we are going to potentially struggle. It's a nice shot. It's a good shot. Just guided through the slips, used the pace. It was the quicker ball, 110 Ks, but just nudged away. And getting Mooney back on strike, who did hit that 3 the very first ball. But I can't believe that we're actually here, our first super over of Don Bradman 17. And we're just going to have a cheeky appeal for that one. But again, I think the swing is taking that well away from the stumps. That's why the umpire said not out. And the confidence from both bowler and wicketkeeper is not much. But more importantly, we have picked ourselves up a dot ball, which in a super over is crucial. You're trying to limit the runs. And I was going to say, this is going to be not a catch, but another dot ball. So again, 4 off the first 2, followed it back up with 2 dot balls. 2 left to go. What is going to happen here? That is the question. It's a very wide one. It's hit out and it's taken. You ripper. So we will take that. It doesn't mean the innings is over though. It means there is still 1 batsman left to come if the things are right, which it is. At least Perry coming in. High score of 17. That strike rate now up there above 150. Again, not so concerned about the wicket. More concerned about the dot ball that was bowled, and we've got 1 ball left, which isn't the greatest of ball. The length was all right, but the line terrible. It was wide and has just been helped over the covers. So Australia finished for 1 for 8 off their super over, meaning that we require 9 runs off 6 balls to win this game. Now we are going to go for Sarah Taylor. We are going to go for. Oh, hang on. Okay, so we're going to go for Taylor. We're going to bring this person in for some reason is batting down really low. So we'll bring her up there. And we'll keep Beaumont in as well. Because we're going to open with Beaumont if we can. Because she was really, really good. So we're going to open with Taylor and Beaumont. And then have, I think, a person later down the order coming in. So Jones, 6 off 6. Perry is going to be the one to bowl this over. Now remember, we need 9. So I don't want to go out there and lose a wicket in the first couple of balls. So I'm just going to go and try and nudge it around, pick up the 1s and the 2s, because that's all we need at the moment. So that isn't the greatest of starts. We could have almost potentially run ourselves out, but we have got a 1. So we just want to make sure that we don't do anything. Beaumont, she was the woman of the episode, the woman of the match so far. 25 runs at a strike rate of well over 150. I think it was about 25 off about 10 balls, I think. So really came into her own later on. That one there has been nudged around the corner. Should come back for the second, which is what has been done. A bit of a misfield there from the Australians as well, so they won't be happy with that. But 3 off 2. We're on course at the moment, boys. Remember, we need 9 to win. 8 to tie, and I'm not too sure what happens in a tie in a super over. I think it possibly goes back to if you lost any wickets. And then after that, I think it goes to something else. Again, nudged away, straight to the fielder. They've gone to the wrong end, though. Oh! The direct hit, but I don't know if the bails have come off. I think that hit the stumps, but the bails didn't come off. We pick up a 2 anyway, which means we are just 1 shot away from victory here, boys. We are 1 shot away from this super over victory. We've nudged it away. Just going to pick up the single. So 3 needed. We've had a change in the field. Long on has gone back. Whew. Jones on strike. Oh, nudge through the gap. It's not going to be timed very well though. And it's going down to the last ball. So, oh God, 2 needed. Are you serious? 2 needed. We've got a deep mid off now. Deep mid on, mid wicket, square leg. Deep square leg. I honestly think through covers again is our best tactic. 2 to win, 1 to tie. Oh, it's very wide, but I think it may be inside that line. It's not. The umpire's given it a wide. Would you believe it? The scores are now tied. 1 ball left to go. So basically here, whatever happens, we can just take a run. Because if we get run out, it's not going to matter. The scores are still going to be tied. It's been put on the legs. Hit there. Direct hit. Oh, direct hit and she was gone. The dive wouldn't have saved her, but England have won this one in a super over. Would you believe it? Win in the super over. England women's in our first ever women's game. First ever super over in Don Bradman 17 as well. Beaumont is expected woman of the match, player of the match. 25 in that 44 runs. But we get there just in the end. I'm going to wrap things up here, guys. Do hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, this is Cliffy, your King of Career Mode in New Zealand Don Bradman Cricket, signing out.